Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. This is episode 7 of opinions on hyped or popular fragrances. Are we going to buy these or are we going to pass on these? So the way that I do these videos is we have 4 categories. I'm going to tell you whether I think that the fragrance is mass appealing, but a lot of people like this fragrance. I'll give you my initial impressions of the fragrance without looking at notes. So this is just pure like sniff. What am I smelling in the opening and as it dries down? And what is the projection and longevity like? And then finally, do I think it is full bottle worthy? Disclaimer, this is sampling. So these are really just sort of initial impressions from a sample, giving them a chance to dry down and getting a sense of what they are like. So particularly on the projection and longevity piece, it's kind of hard to tell from a sample. So just keep that in mind. This is intended to be fun, lighthearted, and not super serious. Let us jump in. All right, so on Lucky Scent, I noticed there is a brand called Born to Stand Out that is being featured as new arrivals to Lucky Scent. I don't know if the brand is new or whatever. I haven't looked that part up, but there was one name of a fragrance that really caught my attention. Sex and Cognac. Yes, y'all, we're coming straight out of the gate with Sex and Cognac. Woo, buckle in your seatbelts. I don't think this fragrance is mass appealing. I was expecting to smell booziness and sexiness. But instead, what I got from this, I'm sad to say, is rotting wood. Oof. I smelled spilled liquor, like not in a good way. I'm talking about like the bottom shelf liquor that collects in that black mat, you know, on a bar that has the little spikes in it. That kind of nasty liquor. And this smelled like armpit and molasses mixed together. Do you have this? And if so, do you like it? Am I completely off? Let me know. But this was like an immediate, what the heck am I smelling? So I'm going to say that this fragrance really hung around for a while. No pun intended there, I swear. But this was a bit much for me. This was an all around no. And this is not because I'm afraid of masculine fragrances. I wear plenty of masculine fragrances. Do I think this is full bottle worthy? I'm going to say no. But I can see some men really enjoying this fragrance despite the crazy description that I just gave you, especially if they like that sort of woody liquor, like body smell combined together, like the animalic aspects of that. So let me know. Again, have you tried this? Am I way off? Let's talk about it. Then I'm going to go to Byron Parfums. By the way, I really like Mula Mula and whatever the Rouge is, Rouge Extreme. I forget the full name. Those are really nice, and I'm still looking at those fragrances for purchase, although I admit that I sometimes forget that they're there, you know, waiting for me to spend more money on fragrances. This one is called Green Butterfly. I mean, what a pretty name, Green Butterfly. Who would not want to try that? Is this a mass appealing fragrance? Yes, it is. I found this to be green and very, very happy as a smell on the opening. It had a sweet powdery dry down that I found very appealing to me. I found the fragrance to be soft all around in terms of projection and all of that. I will say I find the other 2 Byron Parfums, to be on the softer side compared to how other people describe them. People describe them to be, you know, fairly beast mode fragrances. I can't say that I got that from the other 2. So yes, in terms of this being full bottle worthy, yes, maybe. I found this to be very enjoyable and would certainly like to try it again and see if it's something that I would want to bring to my collection. The next one, you already know the outcome because I ended up purchasing a full bottle because I didn't want to wait. I really enjoyed it. This is Rosendo Mateu number 6. Vanilla, oud, and patchouli is what's listed on the bottle itself. So I have to laugh at my own description. And this is why I say, you guys, you got to try things sometimes a couple or 3 times to really get a good sense for it, because your initial impression might be just completely off. Like maybe you're in a bad mood, maybe your hormones are raging, maybe you have an attitude problem, maybe you're depressed, maybe it's cold outside, you know, maybe you needed a shower before you tried the fragrance. Okay, I'm bugging out. Let me calm yourself down. Take it down a notch, V. Take it down 1 notch. Okay. What I wrote about this fragrance is it had a very rude opening. I found it to be sharp and angry in the beginning. Why would I say that? And then I went and bought the fragrance and I love it. It calms down in about 15 minutes in, and then it's this real powdery beauty with I said it has a touch of animalic prowess. Touch of animalic prowess. In the same sense that Absolute Aphrodisiac from Initio has, this fragrance has the potential to reach masterpiece status. I talked about this in a blind buy. So I did this in reverse. I talked about this in my blind buy chronicles last video, and yet I'm giving you my first impressions now. But let me tell you, I wore it after that video and just enjoyed this even more. So I would say if you are into adventurous fragrances, this definitely has a really soft and deep and sweet and like very, very appealing vanilla in it, like a thick vanilla with touches of patchouli and a little like really soft, very, I would say even a feminine oud. This is unisex. Men can wear this too. In fact, I can't wait to surprise spritz this on my husband because I know it's going to smell good on him. This is a winner. I already got a bottle. So there you go. Let's move on. Stephane Humbert Lucas, God of Fire. Fire! So this is an absolutely super hyped up fragrance. When this first came out, people lost their minds over this entire line. So this is not a mass appealing fragrance, in my humble opinion. What I got from this was tart juice and mango pulp. So my family is from Puerto Rico. I visited a number of times and I have had beautiful, fresh mango straight off the tree, overly ripe mango. And when you peel it and you taste the like juicy middle of it, the pulp of that is what I got from this fragrance. So in that way, it's luscious. I got fruit salad also from this, a tropical fruit salad with like papaya, like really tropical juicy fruits in it, and some melons. So I didn't dislike this fragrance. I liked it. I do think it is quite overhyped considering that it's really, well, in my sampling, just moderate in terms of projection and longevity. So in that sense, I was a bit surprised by the hype that this fragrance gets. But I said maybe in terms of wanting it, it is a pretty bottle. I just think, you know, it's one of those fragrances that you probably want to calm down on a little bit before you go and do like the, you know, pull the trigger and buy it and try it out a little bit more. Parfums de Marly, Valaya, however you pronounce that. What a gorgeous bottle. That sort of dewy, white, very crisp looking bottle. Mass appealing, I'm going to say maybe on that one. Nice. This is a nice fragrance. It's clean. I got white florals. I got a fluffy citrus with some aldehydes, mostly orange blossom and Tide detergent is what I got. Orange blossom plus Tide detergent in the dry down. And I can see how this fragrance on some people's skin gets slightly funky. A little bit like dull and boring in the dry down, if you will. This one, in my opinion, had a soft projection and a moderate longevity. If you have it and it's beast mode, hey, tell us here in the comments. And would I want this? Again, this got another maybe like God of Fire. And it's a pretty bottle, very pretty bottle. I don't know that I need this in my collection, but if somebody wanted it, I certainly wouldn't say, don't get it, it's awful. It's a nice fragrance. Let's talk about the super polarizing Amouage Guidance. Before I say anything, let me know down below, was this a yes or a no for you? Have you tried this? I was fully expecting not to like this because I'm very cautious about Amouage. I have, gosh, I think 5 bottles of Amouage now, but it took me a while to build up to that because these fragrances can be quite bizarre. I don't think that this is a mass appealing fragrance. Let's be clear. This is for a particular customer that has a daring interest in fragrance. This has a weird opening. I wrote 115 seconds. Why did I write exactly 115 seconds? That was interesting. Like, why didn't I do 120 seconds, which is 2 minutes? Why did I go with 115? I can't explain that, y'all, but that's what I wrote. I thought this was bordering on animalic, like it has like a tad dirtiness, but in a good way. But I did get a beautiful floral from this as it dried down. I found this to be sexy. Yes, I'm gonna say it. I like this, and my husband really liked this on me too. I do think this has exceptional longevity and projection. And yes, this is absolutely full bottle worthy, in my opinion, for me, my taste. And I think the bottle is really pretty. Let's talk next about Accident à la Vanille, Madeleine de Proust from Jousset. Jousset is a house. I have a fabulous friend here who has sent me some samples, some of which I have enjoyed and others of which have a little bit of a gas thing happening, kind of like I described with vanilla milk, although I don't smell it in vanilla milk anymore. And like I got in whiff of a waffle cone that made it intolerable, and then others didn't. So this one in particular, yes, this is a mass appealing fragrance. I really like this. This was a very, very sweet gourmand. It was, so I had it on this part of my arm, and I remember hanging out, and every time I would move my arm around, I'd get this whiff of this something really delicious and go, like, what is that? That's so good. Which one is that? Because I probably had like 3 samples on my arm. And I kept coming back to that and going, yes, it's that Madeleine one. That Vanille, Accident de la, why is it called Accidents? Who knows? Accident de la Vanille. And thinking, this is good stuff. It was sweet and beautiful. It smelled to me popcorn, like buttery popcorn, fresh out of the hopper in the movie theater. Delicious, 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 and lots of other sweet notes in it. So this was long lasting, and this is a yes. I would very, very much be interested in a bottle of this. Really good. Carolina Herrera, Good Girl Blush. Okay, the bottle, you either like the stilettos or you don't. I'm a stiletto fan, so I'm good. I have original Good Girl. I have Good Girl Légère. I like Good Girl Very Glam, or whatever that's called, in the red bottle. I haven't purchased that. Does it have red with not sprinkles, sparkly things? I haven't purchased it, but I do like that. But Good Girl Blush, the bottle reminds me of C. Fiori from Armani. That same beautiful pink blush. It really caught my eye. I like the bottle. Is this mass appealing? Yes, yes, it is. This for me was a sweet citrus floral. It reminded me a lot of C. Fiori in that it has some beautiful florals in there. Peony, and I think there's rose in it as well. People have compared this to Mont Blanc Signature, and I disagree it's similar in that they have some kind of like that muskiness and a little bit of the citrus, but they are rather different. I feel like this is closer to C. Fiori, in my own opinion. I found this to be moderate all around. In terms of what I want a full bottle, yes, maybe. This is a pretty one. This is one that I'm looking at for the Sephora sale. Do I need this? I don't need any new fragrances, but this is one that I may just go ahead and get because I like it and I think it's pretty, and that's enough for me. Moving along to Marc Jacobs Perfect, the EDT. What a pretty bottle. You either like all of the like baubles on top or you don't. I don't dislike them. At one point I thought it was corny, and then kind of they grew on me over time. I like the blue sort of turquoise nature of this bottle. It's pretty. Yes, this is a mass appealing fragrance. Description: this was like an out of the shower, clean, fresh smell. There were hints of sweetness and hints of floral. Not groundbreaking, nothing different or unique. You've smelled this before, but it's still nice. I thought this was a soft and delicate skin scent. And no, I don't need this, but I do think it's nice. If someone gifted me a bottle, I would absolutely wear it. I'm not going to run out and get it. I've said that about other fragrances, and then, they end up on my shelf. So you never know. Don't listen to me. But if you're looking for like a clean skin scent type of a fragrance for spring and summer, you really can't go wrong with Perfect, the EDT. Escentric Molecules. I had, for some reason, I don't even remember where I got this, but a Molecule 04 sample, which is supposed to be sandalwood. And I'm exploring sandalwood fragrances more and more this year than I have before. I don't think this is a mass appealing fragrance. Why is that? Because you get nothing. This is a nothing fragrance, like some of the Escentric Molecule fragrances can be. Some people can smell them, some cannot. I have a really hard time with them. Some days I can, and some days it's a no. I can't really smell this one, or at least not strongly. It reminds me in that way of another 13 from Le Labo, which people rave about. And for me, it's just like, where's the fragrance? It's just one of those things. I can't pick up the scent. I don't know why. But it is supposed to be a little powdery and spicy. I got some aspects of that. And I did get the sense that it's a sandalwood fragrance, but I can't say that I would have picked up that it's a sandalwood fragrance on its own. This was weak all around for me in terms of how it projected and all of that. And no, I don't want a full bottle of this. Goldfield and Banks Southern Bloom. I will say I've tried a number of fragrances from Goldfield and Banks, and have been, I would say, all around underwhelmed about this house, especially considering the price point. And this one was no different. Southern Bloom, maybe in terms of mass appeal. And I have to tell you what this smelled like to me: toast and honeysuckle. I realize it's not a honeysuckle note that's in here, but toast. Like, I like toast. It smells great. I don't know that I would necessarily want to smell like toast alone. And honeysuckle is a scent, even though that's not what's in here, that's what I got, that sometimes I enjoy and sometimes I don't. This is actually supposed to be a sweet and floral scent with sandalwood and a note, I'm going to maybe not pronounce this right, Baronia, that is supposed to smell sweet. Okay, so I got some of that in this fragrance, moderate all around in terms of longevity and projection. And no, I don't want a bottle of this. Simone Andreoli or Simone Andreoli, I don't know how you pronounce that. I have Malibu Party in the Bay, which is a fantastic lime and coconut and does it have rum summer fragrance that smells like Virgin Island water from Creed. Beautiful, long lasting, excellent fragrance. So I wanted to try more. I picked up a sample of Don't Ask Me Permission. Don't ask me permission. Mass appealing, maybe. I found this to have, for me, this smelled like plastic baby doll head, which is a thing. Like some people are super into that. I don't dislike that. It also had florals and it had dry woodiness to it. Florals, dry woodiness, plastic baby doll head together, moderate to long lasting all around. I wasn't particularly enamored with this fragrance. So for me, it's not full bottle worthy, but it's a nice fragrance. We'll be interested to hear your thoughts if you have tried it. We'll go next to the very, very hyped Leisure in Paradise from the same house. Yes, this is a mass appealing fragrance. And I went with a yes for this and then a no. When I first tried it, I was like, oh, is this what everybody's so excited about? I don't really get it. And I've kind of, as I've sampled it more, because I did sample this one a couple of times, actually 3 times, I have come to enjoy it more. This is a very, very super, super sweet, fruity candy. Smells like summer fun. Summer fun. It is a little bit generic, like Bath and Body Works-ish, but stronger, if you will, deeper, sweeter, and really lovely. It is a lovely fragrance. It was moderate all around on me. And yes, a strong yes, maybe in terms of what I want a full bottle of this. It is rather expensive for the scent profile to be one that's rather generic, but that's okay. And I really like it. And who doesn't want to smell like a tropical, sweet dream in the summertime? I certainly do. I think I reviewed this one before, but I don't remember. So if you've heard me talk about this in another video like this, forgive me. Naomi Goodsir, Cuir Velours. Have I talked about this? If so, I'm so sorry. I don't think that this is mass appealing. This is a leather fragrance, as the name suggests, and it has a smooth, bright, fresh greenness to it that stays for quite a while, and then it settles into a darker leather with some tobacco in it. So it's a really interesting leather. I'm really not interested in bringing additional leathers into my collection because I have a nice little corner of leathers and some that I'm moving onto my husband's shelf and the stronger ones that I'm moving out because I'm like outgrowing that scent profile. Outgrowing is not right because it makes it sound like I don't like it anymore. I do. I'm preferring other things for a while here. Maybe I'll come back to like the really super heavy leathers. It has good projection and longevity. And it's a no for me for the reasons that I said, but I do think this is a really good fragrance. And if you're in the neighborhood for a beautiful leather, try this out. Maison Tahiti Vanextasy. Vanextasy. This is one that has been hyped on a number of channels. Yes, this is a mass appealing fragrance. I get from this amber. Does it have amber? Something maybe even a little bit slightly oudi, vanilla, and a really soft sandalwood. This was moderate all around, and I will say probably. I found this to be an interesting, alluring, maybe even sexy kind of a fragrance. I think I would like to play with this some more and maybe purchase a full bottle. Armani My Way Intense, the newer one. I like My Way fine. So the original My Way, I feel like this is maybe a stronger version of that. If you like My Way, you'll like this too. I don't know that they're, different enough to justify having both, but it is a nice fragrance if you enjoy a beautiful white tuberose, white floral, and tuberose, well, tuberose is white floral, but really nice white floral. This is, some people say that My Way smells a little bit bubblegummy. I would say this is a little bit more mature version of that. YSL Libre Le Parfum. In fairness, this is one that I did sample a while back thanks to a friend here, Tammy. Hey girl, hey, if you're watching. Yes, this is a mass appealing fragrance. This is very, very much, very close to the intense version of Libre. Beautiful vanilla, orange blossom, heavy, heavy fragrance, I think. Date night, mature, sexy fragrance. Really good. I don't detect a whole lot of difference between these two. So I'll just leave it at that. I found this to be strong all around. I don't need this in my collection, but I do think it's worth it if you don't have the intense and you're looking at that scent profile, that sort of heavy, sexy vanilla fragrance with a little bit of floral to give it a little bit of zhuzh. Try this out. Then I go to Sora Dora. We have Mandorle that was sent to me by the brand. And I also got a discovery set from Sora Dora. Still making my way through the discovery set, but I did want to highlight one that has been recently hyped. I would say probably early winter into early spring. I've heard a lot of people talking about this. It's Orchidee Rouge. And I think maybe in terms of this being a mass appealing fragrance, for me, this was a soft vanilla with hints of almond. That's it. That's all I kind of got in here. I have other fragrances that scratch that same itch, like Psychedelic Love. So I guess for me, this wasn't, particularly impressive as a unique offering. And I found it to be soft all around. And so that part, more than anything, sealed the deal for me that this was not full bottle worthy and maybe kind of uninspiring as a new, vanilla fragrance on the market. So there you go. And I will close out this video with what we do in Paris. What is it called? Is Secret? Put the name up here. By A Lab on Fire. I tried Freckled and Beautiful from this brand, which I really like. It smells like a biscuit, like a freshly made biscuit out of the oven with a little bit of sweetness, and it's alluring. I really like that fragrance. What we do in Paris was a nice surprise. This was a yes in terms of being mass appealing, and I would describe this as a powdery vanilla. I found this to be sensual. I found this to be soft. I found this to have a come hither aspect, nearly like skin scentish. Maybe you get like a little bit of a bubble from it, but it's one of those that would make someone want to come in and sniff you, get a little bit close and get a hug from you. And I think this has some really nice hints of sweetness that just make this a really attractive, alluring, enticing fragrance in very soft ways. It is soft and moderate all around. And I would say yes to this being full bottle worthy. And I think that's it. I usually have 20. I believe that was 19. So forgive me for not filling that last slot, but I wanted to be sure to get this video out as I know folks are considering purchasing some of these. I know none of y'all are waiting on my review to figure out whether you want to purchase something or not, but I did want to get these out while folks are still thinking about these. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know your thoughts on these fragrances in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video, friends. Take care until then.